Hey everybody, welcome back to another Tying Tuesday here at AvidMax. My name is Taylor, and today we're tying up a spicy little midge pattern that I like to use on our local tailwaters here, along with our 100 closest friends. This one is called the Redneck Midge. As you can see, it's got that little red hot spot. And it's just a super effective little midge pattern for these cold winter months. So with that being said, we'll jump right into her. The hook I am using today, the one I always like to use for my midges, is a Tiemco 2488. And this one, there we go, is in a size 18, but I like to tie this down into a 20 and a 22, just for some different size options. And then the bead that I'm using today is the Fulling Mill tungsten bead in a 2mm in the black color. And first we'll lay down our thread base, and for the thread I'm using UTC 70 denier in olive. We'll cut off our tag end and come in with our wire here for the ribbing. For wire I'm using UTC ultra wire in black and size small, and we'll butt that wire basically into the bead, catch it with a few turns of thread, and then start wrapping back. And we'll wrap pretty far down into the bend of the hook. Yeah, about there. Wrap forward, and we're going to stop at about where the barb is on the hook, or where the barb point is. From there, we will put bobbin to the side, take our wire, and wrap forward. Nice, even spaces. Just get some good looking ribbing in there. Like I said, we're gonna wrap up to about where the bend of that hook is, maybe halfway up the shank. Tighten up my thread there and lock down that wire. Perfect. When we got that locked down with a couple thread wraps, we'll helicopter her out. Maybe. There we go. And then we will come in with that little hotspot color. So for the tinsel, the red tinsel, I'm using Vivis, size small, and of course red. I do like cranberry as well if you want a little bit of a darker hotspot, maybe not so vibrant. So we will tie that back to the end of our wire. And same thing, set the bobbin aside and do some nice thread wraps here, or tinsel wraps. It's okay to wrap over itself. We're gonna cover this all in resin here in a little bit. Just make sure you get a nice good chunky bit. We will lock all of this down one more time. Good deal. Cut out our excess tinsel. And it's okay if that little bit is messy right up against the bead. It's all gonna get covered. Not all of it, but that part's gonna get covered. From here, I will whip finish the olive thread right up against the base of the hook. And we're gonna cut it out. Perfect. Next, we're gonna come in with some black thread. Any black thread will work. I like Semperfli Nano Silk, so I'm using the 50 denier size in black again. We're just going to lock that down as always. Trim out our excess. And now come in with the flash to go over the thorax of the fly. So for flash, I'm using UTC Mirage Tinsel in the opal color, size medium. And we'll lay that just over the top of the fly, catch it with a turn of thread, and tie back to about halfway on our tinsel wrap. So there's just a little bit of red showing. You know, maybe like 1 wire gap space of red tinsel. From there, on the traditional fly that Fulling Mill sells, they just build up a thread base back behind the head and then put resin over it. But I like to make this thing a little bit buggier. So I will take a little bit of black dubbing, and in this case I'm using some black hare's ear dubbing, but I've pulled out a lot of the guard hairs, so it's kind of just that nice little under fluff. We're going to put that on the thread and spin that up. So it's a nice tight dubbing noodle. And we're going to just very tightly wrap that around behind the bead. We will lay our Mirage Tinsel back over itself to create a bit of a husk and catch that with a turn or two of thread. And then snip out. Oh, I don't think that's pretty centered. We'll snip out our excess here and then throw another really quick whip finish on this. It's really easy to cover up that tinsel, so only do like a 2 or 3 turn whip finish, and then we can trim out our thread at that point. So now, as you can see, it just looks a little buggier. There's one really big guard hair in there that I will probably trim out. See if I can get that just because I'm OCD. Perfect. Good deal. And then last step, we're gonna put a nice little coating of resin on it. For resin, I'm using the Solares Bone Dry. Just a nice, really thin resin, doesn't bulk up. So we're gonna put just a light coating on everything. Rotate it around, make sure it's covers everything evenly. And we will zap that with a UV light. Cook it a little bit, and there you have it. That is the Fulling Mill Redneck Midge. Like I said, a super effective little pattern. It's a good point fly if you're running 3 midges, like you sometimes have to on our tailwaters. And yeah, go ahead and try it for yourself. You can find all the materials at AvidMax.com or swing by the shop, and we would love to help you out. So thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you on the next one.